So here I chose three primary colors for the color palette because I really wanted a balanced palette and I just really love those three combinations. So when you're painting with three primary colors, you need to add the most of one, a little less of the next, and like a little bit of the third so it can be balanced out so that the person who's looking at your drawing, their eyes like know where to go first, where to go second, where to go third, and like that also lets you play with like highlights that pop, which you can use like the smallest color for. And right now I'm drawing some stars and I am super lazy, so I just duplicated the layers over and over again and merged them together because I could not be bothered to do each individual star. And that's the great thing about digital art is you can be as lazy as possible as long as it's not obvious that you copy pasted everything. So right now I'm just making a line with my stars just so I can just create a line across the page that the person's eyes will follow. So it's not like they'll be distracted with looking all over the place and their eyes won't be like, where do I look? Because there is literally a line of stars directing them. And in the lighter areas I put a lot more stars because that kind of adds a little bit of a glow effect. So that's kind of like a good strategy. When you're doing skies or clouds, just put more stars in the light areas. It'll really look like it's glowing. Here I drew an angel because I was like, yeah, I want something to fill up this page because compositionally it's a bit empty. And I went over it with a paintbrush instead of a line brush because silhouette's got to be a little chalky to hide my anatomy mistakes. You can't really criticize something if you can't see it clearly, which is why I use a paintbrush. Oops. So then I drew a halo, and then I actually flipped the angel over to the other side because I wanted it to be right below the brightest part of the picture for contrast. And then I drew a ladder because I thought that the right side of the page looked kind of empty. So that's what I did, and then I decided I didn't want it, so I had to incorporate that yellow in somehow, so I thought a ring of light would be cool, especially to bring the picture together because there are some disparate elements, and it would also reinforce like the line of stars. I tried to add another layer, it didn't work, also my program slowed down. So I blurred the light layer just to make it seem a little bit more natural with like less hard lines, and I was like, what do I fill the bottom with? So I decided to go with a tree because I am really lazy and evergreen trees are really easy to do. And for the tree trunk, I actually did a complementary color of the tree and just made it a lot dark brown, so I kind of hid it in there, and that's like a good way to sneak in that complementary pop, especially when you're doing trees. You can just hide the complementary red in the wood. And so here, I'm doing a bunch of foliage using the pen brush, not exactly the right brush, trying to experiment with some bushes, some weeds, some whatever, trying to add some long stalks for dimension, some little plants, but spoiler alert, I decide that I don't actually want it, and I didn't. So I just saved before I started putting the layer effects on. So here I'm playing with color burn, color dodge, stuff like that. So what color burn does is it darkens everything in your painting except for the super bright spots. So if you really want like darkness, then you can use that and then just erase where you want your source of light to really highlight things. You could also use a color dodge layer when you want everything to glow, although this effect is a little extreme, so I would definitely recommend lowering the opacity when you do. And yeah, right now I'm just, I guess, playing with the coloring, making the tree a little darker so the disparate colors don't distract from like the sky. My program crashed, so that's why that happened. Anyway, now that I made it darker, I decided that I wanted like an 80s effect, so I put a yellow layer and a blue layer, and I put the layer settings on overlay, and then I reduced the opacity to like 20%, and then I merged it. Then I put like a glowy airbrush, changing airbrush to color dodge for again that 80s anime effect. Put in some shooting stars because I just needed like another pop of color, and yeah, so that's my process. I just want to add that actually for the kind of effective where you kind of see like two images superimposed on each other, I kind of added that for again the 80s aesthetic. So what you do is you just duplicate the layer that your final project is on and just move it a little bit to the right to kind of give you that like double image goodness. And I really want it to be like grainy because I really love like the grain aesthetic. Like that's also known as noise. I think it depends on whether you're like a photographer or an artist, what you call it. But anyway, if you want that, I literally just go to Visco and it's a photo editing app, and then I just like put the grain all the way up to as high as possible it can go. And yeah, then I post it to Instagram from there. So, yep. Anyway, the music that I used was a song that I wrote called Sunny Side Up, and I wrote it today. Yeah.